Hey, Igbo, welcome back to this channel. So, I've always had people make reference to the Igbo concept of a chi na Ezumezu or ihe so Mmadu wee bi ụwa. Now, what do we mean? How do they even operate? Now, chi na Ezumezu or ihe so Mmadu bi ụwa, they create a chain of cosmic interaction between themselves and individuals that they are attached to. Now, I look at their relationship as an organic relationship. One cannot function without the other. Chi cannot function without Awu. Awu cannot function without Alusi. Alusi cannot function with Ndi-Mmiri. So they have a cosmic interaction, a chain of communication and interaction between them. For something to happen, it could be predestined by the chi, sanctioned by this entity or this spirit. This is how our ancestors understood it. Chi na Ezumezu. Chi and the entirety of spirit, the totality of spirit that accompanies an individual. Ihe so Mmadu bi ụwa, the chi entity and other entity spirits that are supposedly expected to direct the affairs of an individual from the individual's reincarnation down to when the individual dies and up to the next reincarnation. That's if the person did not live up to his or her cosmic purpose. Now, these forces that we're looking at as chi na Ezumezu or ihe so Mmadu bi ụwa, they include a person's chi, which becomes the first entity spirit. We now look at Awu. We will now look at Ndi-otu. We will now look at Umuada. We will now look at Ndi-Ichie. We will now look at Ndi-Mmiri. We will now look at Ndi-Mmiri, spiritual spouse. So these are entity spirits that our ancestors believe that accompanies an individual right from conception down to this individual's death. And each of these entity spirits, they have their functions in the life of an individual. This is why they are important in our spirituality and our cosmology. This is why wherever we go, we hear about this entity spirit, but we might not really fully understand or grasp how they manifest or their functions within our life. Now, to understand them and their function, our ancestors materialized them within artifacts that we know we know today as Okposi or Okposi. Now, this is why many Christians or non-Igbos believe that Igbo ancestral worship was focused on idolatry. We had to imbue their essence into these effigies in order to understand them, in order to create a channel in which we communicate, in which we venerate, in which we perform sacrifices and other things too. But the whole intention there is to understand them, to materialize their spiritual form into an effigy that we see as their representative. So this is how we were taught to understand them. This is the ancestral perception of why we have them within effigies and also why we try to materialize them. Now they are imbued within these opposite energies. In relation to understanding their function, we need to also understand that each of these entity spirits has their specific function that is uniquely tied to certain aspects of our life. Now, when we now make reference to the Igbo concept of Awu, we will now understand that Awu functions uniquely with the creative ability and upliftment of an individual, which basically results in the practice of Iru-Agwu, either at the lineage or either at the lineage level or personal activation, which means that Awu can be instituted, activated through the rituals of Iru-Agwu, and it would happen as a lineage. Awu ezinono. It could also happen at a personal level, personal activation. Ndi-Ichie as a way to obtain, ignite, grow, and improve one's creative capabilities. This is one of the beautiful reasons why our ancestors activated their Awu through the rituals of Iru-Agwu. They activated it through this ritual, but the purpose here is to obtain, reignite, grow, and improve their creative capabilities and capacities. So this is one of the functions of our. The next concept is the chi. The chi then is not just an individual's creator. We don't just refer the chi as our creator, but to also refer to the chi as our driving force. What pushes you, what drives you, what motivates you. And this motivation could be in either good or bad. Like anything good or bad has to pass through the chi. This is why we don't have the Igbo aphorisms that says chi adines. When your chi is not in an agreement, then whatever thing that happens to you, both good or bad, it would not agree. Your chi has to agree for something to come to you, whether good or bad, to manifest in your life. So chi adenizo falls in this category or falls in this expression. I want to make a reference to your chi being your driving force through which everything good or bad would pass through before the manifestation can be felt in your individual life. Now we need to recognize the fact that our ancestors believe that the spiritual controls the physical. So whatever that is happening to you physically has been preordained or predestined spiritually, or has been predestined to happen. And it's as time goes on, or as your life evolves, all those things would now be dropping out and manifesting at each of various stages and levels of your life. Now, another definition of this spirit is what we call Ndi-otu. Otu functions as the spiritual age group that checks or delays an individual, hence using the achievement of your age group as a status maker. They are perceived as a spiritual group that comes into this reality as a group with similar goals or EU, cosmic contracts, and they are also destined to attain certain status at the same time, and they are also expected to eventually die at a required time. So we come in together and we die together. And this is where you don't say, my age group are now dying, or my age group are now achieving this, my age group are now getting married, my age group are now building house. Ndi-otu obom alobago no, Ndi-otu obom anuago nwanyị, Ndi-otu obom anwubago, Ndi-otu obom nefife na ya, Ndi-otu obom. Age group. Now we also have this age group manifesting on the spiritual level. We now have it manifesting at this point. People believe in cardinal effect, cardinal. So physically we have age groups. Spiritually we also have age group. So this is where the concept of Indigi na Hango Koliri together, you share these soul ties, these cosmic contracts together, manifest. This is where it is more pronounced because of our interaction with this spiritual group. Now this spiritual group are known to inflict a person with what we call obonuke. Uke is negative energies that comes from this spiritual group that we call Ndi-otu obo. It could be because of a deviation from this cosmic contract. It could be as a result of jealousy, in the sense that the age group that you reincarnated with are dying from some sort of a mysterious thing, and you're living your life peacefully, succeeding. Now those ones, those that did not live up to their own life expectations, could now begin to fight you in order to make you suffer the same fate, or to meet the same fate that they met in their own life. So our ancestors now designed rituals that they used to compact, to fend off, to ward off, to appreciate them, or to make them not to be oppressive to those that are living, now enabling you to live your life free from your Ndi-otu obo, especially when they are malignant to you. Also, we also have the benefits that accompanies Ndi-otu. Now, for many people, when they tell you that when they acknowledge their Otu, their lives became more meaningful, their lives became more fulfilled, but all these experiences are individualistic in nature. We all have our different experiences when it comes to Ndi-otu. All these concepts that we have, Chi, Agwu, Otu, Ndi-Mmiri, and the rest of them, they all have their diverse functions, but ultimately their goals align. The Chi's predestination would not be different from Agwu. What your Chi has in mind, the Akaraka that you're expected to have, the cosmic path that you're meant to be on, is not going to be different from what your Agwu wants, or from the kind or the nature of Agwu that you are born with. They go side by side. So for instance, your Chi cannot look at you and predestine that you're going to be a Dibia, and you would now be born with an Agwu that is channeled towards a Dibia. When I meant Dibia, let me be specific, because even if I say another thing, a Dibia is an expert. So if I look for another concept and relate it to it, that person could also be an expert in that field. So let's say, for instance, your Chi cannot destine you to be a trader, and your Agwu, it will now be an Agwu that is directed towards innovation. It would be a contract of interest. So what happens here is that your Chi would predestine you to be an individual that is going to be a trader, and your Agwu would also be an Agwu that influences the life decisions, the paths, the directions of a trader. It would reflect everything about you, your cognitive abilities, everything you think of, how you relate with one another, would be with this business trader mindset. It would not be different from what your Chi wants, and what your Agwu wants will not be different from what your Chi wants. They go side by side. At the same time with other cosmic forces. Now, don't also forget, we believe in predestinations, but we also believe that you are the conscious driver of your destiny. Your Chi could predestine and say, this, if you follow this life path of being a trader, you're going to be more fulfilled. Your life is going to be great. You are going to even be a Dibia, an expert trader in this particular field. But because of socialization, or because of Mmadu or what you see in your reality, it could deviate or shift you from that position or that predestined path your Chi wants from you. It could fix you on another path. Now your Chi's job is try to make sure that you get back on this path. But if that is not happening, your Chi will now have to follow the life path that you have chosen. Now ultimately this requires that you are going to come back and repeat the reincarnation cycle. Because at the end of the day, the essence of existence for Ndi is to achieve our cosmic purpose that has been set out by a person's Chi, the Ezumezu. So even if you move towards the direction that unknowingly, or how life has pushed you to move towards that direction, it is going to allow you to learn some crucial life lessons, and at the point of death you're going to be allowed to choose to see that maybe there are things that you've not really learned, and if you are on this Chi instigated path for you, are going to be more fulfilled. It would now require you come back to shift yourself from that path that you choose to the path that the Chi wants you to move and to move on. So these are just perceptions that we have. But ultimately, these concepts or these entities, they are not far apart. Remarkably, they are aligned with one another's goals. This is why I said they function as an organism that moves together with similar interests and similar goals. At the end of the day, they are trying to achieve a cosmic purpose that has been set out by this cosmic force Chi and Mmadu. So we're going to continue the conversation later, and until next time, Yakase.